The world-famous 19th century author Mark Twain showed up in Bemidji to entertain and educate the community. For this week's In Focus, Jamil Donith tells us about how a traveling actor who has been living the life of Mark Twain for almost 40 years.
I consider introductions unnecessary, but if it is the custom to have them, I prefer to do the act myself.
He looks like Mark Twain, he talks like Mark Twain, and he acts like Mark Twain. But stage actor Richard Gary is not Mark Twain, but he sure is convincing.
I'm out on a raid. I go out and make money off my works.
For almost 40 years, Gary has embodied the world-famous 19th century author, on stage and off.
Oh, it's great fun. And his humor holds up. It's still almost as fresh as when he first said it.
His one-man act made its way up the Mississippi to Bemidji Monday, where he gave a special performance to Bemidji high school students.
You ever hear Mr. Edison? He's done a little scientific work.
He has owned his own theater in Hannibal, Missouri for 9 years. And when he's not performing shows there, he's traveling, just like Twain.
He did shows all over the world, no way to preserve them in his day. So we've forgotten about it. He was one of our great entertainers.
Gary recreates Twain's traveling shows, telling tales from his books like fan favorites Huckleberry Finn and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, as well as talking about Twain's real-life experiences.
That book was made by Mr. Mark Twain, and he told the truth.
Gary says his performance as Mark Twain is a mixture between entertainment and education, so he makes it a point wherever he goes to try and visit an area school.
It's history and also serious intent, because some of the things he has to say are very important.
Growing up in Washington, D.C., Gary started acting at a young age, but it wasn't until he started teaching theater that he got into Mark Twain.
I thought it would be like a 6-week project. I really did. I didn't think it would be years of Mark Twain.
Gary says our youth can learn a lot from Twain, even in the 21st century. But he says Twain is sadly not taught enough in American classrooms today.
He's one of our great national treasures. The interesting thing that he is very respected overseas, but less and less in American schools, and that's a shame.
So just because Mark Twain is gone doesn't mean his legacy doesn't continue to live on, as Gary has gladly taken Twain's place, spreading his words of wisdom.
Truth is stranger than fiction, but a lie that's well told is well nigh immortal.
For this week's In Focus, Jamil Donith, Lakeland News.
Gary also took some time after his morning performance to visit with a classroom at the high school, and he gave a community performance Monday evening.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.